Welcome to Module 2 of Chapter 3, How to Build an MVP. We've talked about in the first module what an MVP is, and now we're going to talk about a little bit about how to actually build one. So you're going to build your MVP in a series of steps, right? First, you're going to list all the features you want to include in your website, in your business, in your app. Just list them out, be as crazy as you want, right? Next, you're going to remove the ones that aren't absolutely necessary. Store them for later because they'll be good as features to use to improve in the future and when you're building out your full product. But for now in your MVP, you just want to cross them out, right? Then you're going to create a workflow, which is basically a step-by-step of each step of how your MVP is going to work. Then you're going to set up your tools, and we'll talk about tools to build your MVP in the module after this. But for now, just keep in mind that you're going to be using different tools to accomplish different things in your workflow. Then you're going to test your MVP to get rid of bugs. At this point, you share it with a few friends. You walk through the workflow from beginning to end, make sure that you've gotten most of the kinks out. It's not supposed to be clean or pretty or neat, but it should be like bug-free. Make sure you're receiving emails if that's what you're going to have to do. Make sure you have the phone number. Make sure that if you call the phone number, it actually goes through. Make sure you have enough credit. Those kind of things is what I mean. Then the last you're going to do, once you have an MVP that's free of bugs, you're going to start sharing it. And you're going to start sharing it with your potential customers and see how it works. So when you're building your MVP, remember, be brutal. I know it's going to feel like you're stabbing your baby, but be strong. Remember, you're not getting rid of these features. You're just delaying their implementation. You're just making sure that your idea is valid before you start doing anything fancy, right? So you don't waste time, you don't waste money. Okay, so let's do an example. We're going to do the MVP for a food delivery service. First, as we said, step by step, we're going to list all the features that we want to include. So customers need a way to order their meals. Then they need a way to see the status of their orders in real time. We want to show them in real time where their food is. We also need a way for them to rate their meals so we can match our vendors and know who the best vendors are. Maybe reward them based on getting great ratings. We need for customers a way to pay for their meals. We need them to pay for the meals. Otherwise, I'm not going to pay for it. Who's going to pay for it? They need to. The food isn't free. Then they need to see the menu before they order. They have to have a way to pick something from the menu. Otherwise, how do they know what to order? The next thing is they need to be able to reach out to us about the status of their order. That's, if something's going wrong, they need to be able to reach out to us. And they need a way to track delivery drivers so we know when orders are delivered, right? So next, we're going to go through all these features one by one and see whether we should keep them. So the first one is customers need a way to order their meals. Well, we definitely need this. If they don't order, we can't make money. So yes, we'll keep that in our MVP. Customers need a way to see the status of their orders in real time. We probably don't need this. If something's going wrong, customers will definitely call us because we'll share the number. And they can call us even if they just want to find out the status. So we don't need this. We'll leave this out of the MVP. Customers need a way to pay for their meals. We definitely need this. It's not a charity. We need them to pay for the food because we have to pay our vendors. So we'll keep this in our MVP. Customers need a way to reach out about the status of their order. We definitely need this in case there are issues with delivery. The difference between this and the other one is that the other one said real time, right? And this one just needs a way to reach out to us. So they don't need to see their orders in real time, but they do need to be able to reach us in case they need to find out the status of their order, right? So we need a way to track delivery drivers so we know when orders get delivered. We don't really need this now as part of the MVP. We can have the drivers call us when orders are delivered, and we can check the amount of time that has passed between when an order was sent out, and if we haven't gotten that confirmation, maybe in 30 minutes, in 45 minutes, then we can call the drivers and figure out what's going on, call the customer, see if they've received their food, maybe the driver forgot to call back, it's very manual and it'll be very tedious, but we don't really need this. We can do this manually. So Now that we've gone through that, we've gone from 8 to about 4, so exactly 4 features. So see how we were able to get rid of so many things to put in our MVP, and all these things do is test the fact that our food delivery service is valuable, right? So the next step is to create a workflow. So a workflow is basically the step-by-step of how your MVP is going to work. So in this case, first, customers are going to receive menus, then they're going to place an order, and then they'll make payment. Then an admin will verify, confirm payment, and the admin will send out for delivery. The customer will receive the food. The delivery driver will report the food is delivered. And then the admin will call the customer for a review. And then the admin will close the order. So that's basically the whole order life cycle for this MVP. It moves from one stage to the end, and you have it clearly in your mind, right? Once you've done that, you're going to map those process steps to tools, right? And we'll talk about tools further in the next module. But for now, we're going to keep it really simple. So how will customers receive menus? Well, we can use a WhatsApp broadcast. We can send it to them as a PDF. And we can also put it as our profile pic and change the menu every day. So that's how they'll order. They'll see it on our profile pic on our WhatsApp story, and they can pick the menu from there. No technology. Customer places an order, so they can send us a message via WhatsApp once they view the menu. Then they can make payment either by paying directly to our bank account, or we can send them a PayStack payment link. Then the admin verifies the order. So once the order is confirmed, you put it in Google Sheets, and then you mark it as delivered, and you check the payment platform, or you check your banking app to make sure that payment has come in, and you can use Google Sheets to track that. Then the admin calls the delivery person and says, hey, it's time to deliver food. They come, they pick it up, they take it out. The admin can also mark that step as well in Google Sheets. Then the customer receives the food. How does the customer receive the food? Hey, they have a delivery bag. They didn't go out, and we're not going out and signing up 100 drivers. We're probably just going to use an existing food delivery service, or just like a bike guy that we've convinced to work for a week, right? Then the delivery driver will report the food is delivered when he delivers it. Again, the tool, he's just going to call us and say, hey, delivered. The admin is going to update it in the sheet. The admin is going to then call the customer and ask for a review, update the review in Google Sheets, and then close the order in Google Sheets. So very simple. We've only used 3 pieces of technology: WhatsApp, phone, and Google Sheets, and then the delivery person as well. So we didn't really have to go deep into our pockets. You can do this today. Like, there's no reason why you can't do this. And this is what I mean by you can build your MVP in a week or in a weekend. So how do you launch your MVP? So you set up all your tools. You've gone through your workflow, you set up all your tools, and we'll go through that a little bit more in the next module. Then you're going to test all of them, and then you're going to share with your potential customers and see how they use it. And this is where you can start getting information on whether your MVP and whether your business will be successful. And the results from your MVP can be plugged back into your financial model, and you can start seeing real numbers and start really feeling like you have something real. That's why I love this chapter, because this is the point where you start feeling like you've gone from an idea to something tangible and real. Okay, so we've reached the end of module 2. Next up, you'll do some homework, and then in module 3, we'll talk about tools that you can use to kind of automate and make your MVP be a bit smoother, a bit faster, and a bit cleaner.